Hi, this is Dawn, and this podcast is The Point, where we talk all things wedding planning in the city of Pittsburgh and beyond. If you're newly engaged, a year into planning, or you're going to say I do in 30 days, this podcast is for you. Hey, everybody. Today we have a great podcast. I'm so excited. It's our first ever After the I Do. These are couples that have been married recently within the last 30 days that are coming and joining us on the Golden Couch, and they're going to tell us their story about how everything unfolded for their wedding, the heroes, the zeros, the do's, the don'ts, everything. They're going to spill the tea, and we're going to get into it right now. Hi, this is Dawn from Pittsburgh Brides, The Point podcast. Today, I have a newlywed couple with me, Abbi and Will. Link. Yes. We're going to switch the name.
No.
Okay.
Socially, I'll go by his last name, but legally, for now, I'm going to keep my last name.
Okay. So we were just married when?
May 16th, 2026.
Okay, May 16th, 2026. And I crashed her wedding, kind of. We'll talk about that a little bit. But I just want to talk about your wedding. This series is going to be After the I Do. So we want to just give insight and perspective to couples that are maybe getting married in the fall or in 2027. And for those of you who may not recognize Abbi, she is also one of our proud admins of Pittsburgh Brides and slash model on our website.
Can you believe that was actually almost 2 years ago?
Was it?
Yeah, almost 2 years ago today, I think.
Wow.
I got the Facebook notification pop-ups.
Really? Wow. Well, I will say that you were beautiful that day and you were stunning on your wedding day.
Oh, gosh. That was all the hair and makeup in there. That was nothing from me.
No, she's right.
She is. She is. She's a beautiful girl. You were absolutely gorgeous as a bride. No. I don't want to do that. I definitely don't want to do that. So let's start. I want to start off with some basic questions. How did you meet?
Well, we both went to Ithaca College together. We actually met our freshman year, and we hung out and played board games a little bit, and then we both kind of went our separate ways for a little while. And then I had gone to LA to do a semester abroad, and I had moved into the double in my college apartment, thinking no one else would move into it. And somebody did, so I didn't have a place to live when I was coming back.
And we had an off-campus apartment, and one of the guys was doing his study abroad in New York City. So we had a room to fill, and we were reaching out to everyone that we knew that was coming back from one of those abroads that didn't have a place. And lo and behold, a scat.
Really? Interesting. I love this story. So tell me more.
Well, we're
both film majors to a degree.
Yeah.
And yes.
Oh.
So when we were going into our senior year, we both had to do our senior theses. And for that, I had to direct a film, and he had to do sound editing for a film. So it was like easy to kind of intertwine our lives at the start of our friendship. And then we
were living together and working on all the same projects, and then we just kind of were spending all of our time together anyway.
Yeah. And then here we are, 9 years later.
9 years later. 9 years later. And so, Will, I'm going to ask you this question. When did you know that she was the one?
The moment I knew, I had one of my really good friends visiting. And we were having like a little party because we had just finished another one of our film projects. It wasn't our thesis, I don't think. It was something else, right?
I think it was Danielle's film.
Okay.
And we were doing the wrap party for that.
But just having one of my friends from back home amidst all my college friends and the way that the night was going, it was like, wow, this feels really good. And like even like the night itself had its ups and downs, but the whole time I was just like really happy with her, and like I loved her.
Yeah, probably the same night for me, to be honest, because I think I drunkenly told you that I loved you.
Yeah, and I kind of kept that in my pocket until a couple months later, and then
you had the first sober I love you, and I had the first drunk I love you. So. Yeah, probably actually the same night.
Oh my God, you guys are making me cry. This is the sweetest story.
It's meant to be.
I love it. And you have an amazing voice.
I do.
Yeah. told you that before.
Yeah, you do. You should get into radio or something. You definitely have that commercial voice.
I definitely used to be more soundy than I am now. I tried getting more into the production side of things, or the technical side rather. And I would love to get back more into like even what you're doing, but I just feel so far out of it. But that's a different conversation. That's not why we're here today.
No, it's not. But you know what? It's a quick catch up these days because everything is so easy. Like in the modifications and everything that they've made. Like, you know, I'm not an audio guy, but over the weekend I spent a lot of time on the phone saying, "Hey, I have a podcast on Saturday. Can you help me?" Because my producer couldn't be here today. So let's talk about, you were engaged when?
I'll let him tell the story because he planned it all.
Initially, one of the early things with us was the movie Miss Congeniality, because I had never seen it.
He got a lot of rom-com education at the beginning of our relationship.
But April 25th, right? It's April 25th. Perfect date. And I was like, I'm going to keep that in my pocket. I'm going to use that day to propose. And I missed it in, geez, how long ago was
2023?
I missed it in 2023, and I was ready for it in 2024. And we do a Secret Santa with all of my friends back home and some of our college friends. They've all kind of assimilated. And I pulled her as my gift, or as the person I had to give a gift to. And I reached out to the person in charge and was like, hey, can I propose? I know I'm going to make the Secret Santa about me this year, but like if you say yes, I'm going to do it. And he's like, yes, please do it. And so
shut the front door.
He broke the $25 gift limit, but that's okay.
You never saw that coming.
No, he lied to me for months.
Never allowed to do it again, right?
Well, now we're married. Now I can't lie, but this was before we were married.
It was a good lie. It was a very elaborate lie. He literally shipped a gift to the house, spelled my name wrong, and filled it up with different stuff. And it's funny, and I think it's funny looking back now, because I got the gift and I like brought it upstairs like, Will, I know my name is spelled wrong, but I think whoever got me this gift, I feel really good about it this year. I feel like there's somebody, because there's people in the gift thing that I don't know as well because they're more
and this
people he
this
talks
wasn't
to all the
even
time.
a real gift. This was like rolls of tape in a box so that when you shook it, it made noise, but it was nothing. Because the real gift was going to be the ring, and then we could probably get a photo of it and send it to you. But I had one of my friends commission a little piece of art with me actually proposing, and like right now that's framed in our apartment and looks really nice. But I was like, I want this photo, and you're going to open it, and then you're going to turn around, and I'm going to be there. And that was my vision.
Mm-hmm. So for months he lied to me, told me he had somebody else that he already shipped off his present. And then what I think is so funny is we went to Christmas at his family's place in Jersey, and we were there, and he kept saying, oh, my mom needs some cigarettes. We're going to go to Walgreens and pick up some cigarettes. And I was like, okay, sure. And then the next day it was, my mom needs more cigarettes, and my sister needs cough medicine, so we got to go back to Walgreens. And I was like, okay, we're going to Walgreens again. Cool. And then we went, and then he got back in the car. I was like, where's your mom's cigarettes? He goes, oh, I forgot. She'll have to come to Walgreens. I was like, why do they really like Walgreens right now? Like,
and it was just because Walgreens didn't have a brown frame, and they didn't want to tell me that, so they just wouldn't do it. But
yeah. So we went to Walgreens multiple times on that trip.
It's not even in that frame anymore. It's in a much nicer frame that one of our other friends had got for us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so for people that are listening to this podcast, set the stage of how this executed.
Oh, he brought the frame back from Jersey, put it in my car.
I had to wait for her to fall asleep.
Yep, and then at like 2 a.m, went out to my car to switch out the box that he had shipped to me. He switched that out and he got a different box, put the fixture in there and wrapped it up again. I didn't even notice that the new box did not have a label, did not have any shipping stuff on it, was not packed the same way. Didn't notice it at all. Not a single bit.
So now every time she tried to shake it, I had to be like, maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
So tell me about when you opened it.
Oh, well, then we're going through the whole thing. And I guess
we rigged it so that I had to go last, obviously.
Yes.
And the funny thing is,
so everybody's there.
But nobody knows. It's only the guy who was kind of organizing it and Will. They were the only two that knew that it was going to happen.
And these are friends that do a Secret Santa every year.
Yes, and this is also all virtual. Yes. It's over. We use Discord for it, so we all have our cameras on and do it that way. And it was funny because we were telling our one friend to roll the dice so we can pick the fake order it's going to start in, and she starts counting the number of screens on her monitor for what she rolled, and we're like, oh, we can't do that, so we just picked a number.
Yeah.
But so I told her.
You told me that you had Lynn, who used to work at a framing company, who framed our beautiful photo.
I wouldn't remember where in the order she was, but I was like, we have until...
she was right about at the end, too.
She was close to the end, but I was like, once that person is called, like, that's when she'll know something's up.
Yep.
So close enough to the end where she didn't have enough time to really think about it.
I had no clue up until like the very end when she got called by someone else. And at first I thought, oh, there was a mistake. She got 2 presents.
Yeah.
But no, then he like wouldn't look at me at all. And I was like, oh, okay, so he has me. And then he was just being all cute and like nervous. So I was like, oh, something else is happening.
Something is up.
She likes to joke that our cat knew something was up because the entire night she was just all over me.
Our cat is a very shy girl, but she knows when she's needed to comfort you. So she crawled up in his lap at the very beginning and just like stayed in his lap almost the entire time because I think she could feel his nerves about what he was gonna do. But so then he was like, it came everyone when I figured out that he had me and that he lied to me for months, which is fine. We'll talk about that. But then he was like, okay, here's your gift because I had already pulled.
It's like there's 2 parts. Here's the one, and then the other part's under the bed. Let me go behind you.
Yes. And so I opened it up, and I think as soon as I opened it, I knew what it was going to be. And then I didn't know that it was going to be a picture per se, but I did know it was probably going to be a ring in that moment. But up until that moment, I had not a single clue. Then I opened it up. Oops, sorry. I opened it up and it was the picture of him proposing, which once again we'll send you. And then I turned around and there he was proposing. So it was very cute, very sweet. And
of course, none of our friends were recording it this year.
Yes.
Oh, all of that work and no one recorded the Discord meeting?
That's okay.
It's okay. We have our memories of it.
Well,
but it was very sweet. It was a great con.
We're documenting it now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you can hold on to this podcast in case you get, you're 80 and 90 years old. What did I do? How did that work?
No, I told him I literally wrote down that night after we cried a bit, had a good moment, wrote down every single step, and I was like, okay, tell me all the details, and I wrote them all down in my little journal, so that way I have it saved, so that way we'll always remember it.
Wow.
Yeah, he's sweet.
Wow. The way that you look at each other, you can feel the love in the room. It's absolutely overwhelming. I love it. I'm so glad you made time for me today. So let's talk about your wedding planning.
Okay.
You met, you fell in love, you're engaged, and that was 2024?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
January 13th, 2024 was the day he proposed.
Okay. And so you're about 2 years away from your actual wedding date. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about that. So you shopped at a lot of different venues and you decided on the Hyatt House that's over in South Side. Mm-hmm. And you're working with, was it Joni? Julie.
Yeah.
She was beautiful.
She was lovely.
Julie was great.
Yeah.
We love Julie.
Julie is great. Excuse me.
she was like a little Marine sergeant and a nurse all in one.
And that's what we wanted someone because all of our friends they're very free-spirited people, I would say, for most of them.
Yes.
They're very fun, very creative, very go with the flow, which is great. But then on a day where you have a timeline and a schedule, you want that Marine drill sergeant type of lady, and we appreciate her being that for us.
Yeah, my husband made a comment. He's like, man, she's like a drill sergeant. And I was like, yeah, he's like, I highly respect that in her. She has it under control.
And she's 5 foot, so she owns it. She is there. She's going to tell you what to do, and you're going to listen to her.
Yeah. But so let's talk about you chose that place, and we'll get into your other vendors a little later on down the road. I don't want to go through all of them right now because I want to hear more about your actual wedding. I want to ask, because every couple says this, that there's a part of their wedding that's stressful, financial, emotional, logistical. Did you feel any stress during your wedding planning the 2 years?
I think we knew we wanted a long engagement, and I think having that much time to really prepare really helped us and kept it low stress. For me, at least, I knew the entire time I was going to be more stressed on the day of, because we can't control the weather. And obviously, we trust our vendors, but if anything goes wrong, that's out of our control. Whereas right now we have all the control. We can pick what we want. We can adjust for anything that needs adjusting. And I think you're the opposite. You were stressed.
I wasn't stressed, pulling my hair out stressed per se through most of the process. I felt very calm about it because I'm someone that really likes to take their time, do the research, ask a lot of questions, and like really find something that fits what we need and fits within our budget and fits within the vibe that we're going for. So I took a lot of time. I made lots of spreadsheets comparing different people, different prices, different packages, things like that. So like I felt very calm about who I was picking per se. I made sure I read through all the contracts. I made sure that I knew what we were getting, when we were getting it, how long, how I knew all of that information. So I felt very calm about that. I think what happened is like what everybody kind of goes through is like that last month that you're in the wedding planning, and it's like all the little tiny details you have to pick and choose, every little thing that might go wrong that you kind of have to pivot for or like make other arrangements for. I was very stressed about that. I already don't like doing my emails. Emails is like my least favorite part about being a grown-up adult. I don't like doing my emails, so that was probably the most stressful thing for me. But on the day, to what he said, I felt the opposite. I was just like I just said. I researched these people. I knew what I had asked them. I knew what their answers were. I knew what I was getting from them. So on the day, I basically, and I kept telling this to Will, we picked these people for a reason. They know what they're doing. They are professionals. It's not my business anymore. It's somebody else's business.
Right.
Like we made the plans.
Smart.
Yeah.
So smart of you, because there are things that you can control. There's things that you can't control. You know, one of them happened to be with us, ironically, Emme Photo Booth. So we had Emme Photo Booth there for your wedding, and your guests loved it. Loved it. But the darn printer technology just kept like saying, I don't want to work today. And I think my husband changed the paper like 4 or 5 times between the ceremony and when dinner started. And we just like were pulling our hair out. And it was just something mechanically that we really had no control over. But he ended up getting it working. He was able to troubleshoot something. And I remember you saying, I'm not worried about it. I hired the best. And I was like, thank you for having that confidence in us, because like we're going to go the extra mile and do whatever we have to do to execute. If I had to send my husband all the way home to go get another printer at the shop, I would have done that, because there's no way we were leaving without everybody getting their printed photos. But the printer is just, you know, it decided that it was its life expectancy during your wedding, and there was nothing I could do about it. But that's just part of the business. And I take ownership in that. Like you can a couple things that you can't expect on your wedding day. You can't expect human behavior. People that are going to behave poorly or badly and get a little alcohol in them, right?
Yeah.
You have no control over the weather. So there's no reason sweating over that. And technology will fail sometimes, you know, and sometimes that's just as simple as Wi-Fi. We've had photo booths where we had out in Somerset and, you know, there's no Wi-Fi connection and the printer works via Bluetooth, via Wi-Fi. And so that we know is always problematic, and we plan for that ahead of time. But those are 3 things. And you lose so much of your day
Stressing over it.
Not
worth it.
What difference does it matter? I mean, at that point in time, I looked at my husband. I was like, we'll take everything home. We'll print everything. I'll put it in the mail to her. She can mail it out to everybody if that gets to that point. Like there's a solution with every problem, and don't let it rob your day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like I was more worried before we got there, I was more worried about that than anything. And then we got to the day, everything was fine. Even with that hiccup, the photo booth was like a huge thing. Like you've always been a big photo booth person.
I'm a big photo booth girl.
I've never liked how I look in photos, let's say. So I've never like been a huge fan of like photo booths or anything. And like we were at a wedding, like we were at my cousin's wedding like right after ours, and they like didn't have like a big photo booth like how we did. The photo booth was such a star. It was such a like huge thing. Like if I'm ever doing another event like of this caliber for any reason, like I would absolutely have a photo booth now. Like everyone had such a good time with it. Getting like all the photos like on our side afterwards was like such a nice thing to have. And it's like
the little box thing that I didn't know. Yeah. So that was so fun. I think, was it the night of or the next morning?
The next morning we looked at everything, and it was like so nice.
Everything. And it's like, oh, what are these? So then we opened it up and we're like going through it. And then the one where our photographers that we had were like photobombing one of the photos was absolutely hilarious to us. I think we both cracked up when we saw that. It was so funny. So it was just like a nice little touch to have that like human aspect of like all of the people that wanted to write a little note with their picture, putting the pictures in. it was really funny to get to see like the moments we didn't get to see. I would have loved to take more photos, but just as you know, with being a bride and groom, you get pulled so many different ways.
Yeah.
So like I would have loved to do more photos with it, but then it was so fun to look through all the photos people did.
Read their notes.
Read the notes. My dad in the frog hat.
So now that we're talking about photos, I do want to pivot a little bit and talk about a couple different things.
Yeah.
You did two things for this wedding. One was before dinner service, you had every table come and take a picture with the two of you. You had your cats on popsicle sticks, like big cat
paint
heads.
sticks.
Okay.
Paint sticks.
And so I saw that process unfolding. How did that all work out for you?
Well, I had been from the beginning of wedding planning saying that no matter what, we're getting a picture with everybody. Every single person will have a picture with us, whether we do it individually, whether we do it with a group. And I know that it's really popular right now to do the little photo dash thing where you run around to each table. Mm-hmm. And that was originally going to be our plan for a long time. But then thinking about it, we did have people that had like mobility issues and things like that. And I just didn't want to have to worry about running around and like posing next to people who may not be able to jump up at the moment's notice that they needed to be. So our thought was if they already have to walk a certain way to go get their dinner, we could just catch them while they're getting into dinner line, take a quick photo in front of a cute little backdrop of pictures of us and all of that. So it was kind of like a last minute audible, I guess you can call it, to kind of do it that way. Probably within the last 2-3 weeks, we decided to change it up to do that. I feel like it made it a little bit more calm versus like running to each table. We just had them as they're going to get their dinner to stop and take a quick photo with us.
And you know, they don't have food in their mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No food in their mouth, nothing on their hands. There's no table in the way.
Yeah.
Just made it really easy and simple.
Yeah, it was really, really cute.
Yeah.
And then you also did, and I want to talk about this because there's a lot of questions about this in the group, the QR code.
Oh, yes.
So, first of all, what program did you use to do your QR code? And then what was the result?
So I did a little workaround. We did the knot for our wedding website, all of our invitations and whatnot. We used the knot. And on the knot, you can create a QR code whenever you're doing like the little save the dates and whatnot. So I went on there probably like the last 10 days of our wedding. I made it's like a make your own, save the day to make your own invite. And then I did a QR code to a Google folder I had created. And I did a Google folder that was just like the link wedding with our date. And inside that folder, I put a little thing saying like, I spy, here's some pictures if you want to take some. These are some options. So then I clipped the little QR code that was on the knot invite and I put it onto, it was a lot of programs, so I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Clipped the little picture of the QR code from the knot, put it onto a Canva template I was doing. And on that template, I had talked about like, I had made some placemats, which we'll talk about later. Mm-hmm. I had put in there that they can take their placemats home with them if they wanted it. We thanked people for coming. And then I just put at the very bottom, and if you happen to take any photos, we would love to see it while we wait because there are, I can't remember off the top of my head how long it is to wait for our pictures based off our contract, but it's like a 6 to 8 week wait usually to get your professional photos back.
Right.
And I, as Will has already stated, I'm a photo booth girl. I love photos. I love having the memories of people. And a wedding is one time where you have all of your favorite people around you, you know? So I wanted as many photos from all of our loved ones as I could have to like have those and cherish them. So I did all of that, put it on the little Canva thing, printed it out at Walgreens. And then I put them in a little picture frame just on our table.
On every table, I saw them, and I'm going to I took some pictures too. I'm going to pop that in.
Yes.
So what was the result?
To be honest, not that many people put their pictures in, and that's totally fine. I know that a couple of my family members did, and it could just be, you know, they were at the table. So people were up and dancing the whole time. They're not really looking at that, which is fine. But we did get some that were very, very sweet. And we did have other people there who were doing pictures in a different way. Yes, Dawn was doing some lovely photos. And then one of my bridesmaids had her camera, so she was just hanging out taking photos throughout the day. And one of our guests is also a really big fan of photography, so I think he had a film camera that he got developed as well.
Oh, wow.
So we had people give us photos just in different formats. So we did have the QR code, those other guests of ours, plus you. Just lots of different ways to get them. But it was basically just creating the QR code through the knot and then putting that onto a template to then print out. So
a couple things, because I've heard almost the same thing from other brides. that it didn't unfold exactly as they expected. They expected to get a lot more photos than they actually did, or videos. And I do know that you can do a free QR code on Bitly, Bitly. So you don't have to do it on the Knot.
Yeah.
And you can connect your Google Drive folder. But Google Drive is the absolute best way to go because it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. All you have to do is have a Gmail account and open it up so that anyone can be an editor and add content to that folder, and it's good to go. I do think that you did a really good job of showing it on all the tables with the signage that you have. But here's another part about weddings that I'm noticing: nobody reads.
We tried to make it obvious, but I think that there's just so much going on, and a lot of stuff, a lot of pieces, and you're just there celebrating. Alcohol might be flowing, so
I think part of it is a lot of the people, you kind of already have to be in the mindset to want to take photos. Like, I know a lot of our friends were either already dancing, they're probably not trying to take photos, or like some of my family is also similar, not huge into photos. Photo booth really showed out that side of them, though, which is the other fun thing.
I mean, speaking about it, though, your cousins did something very, very similar. They did theirs through Zola. They actually had like little posters with it. I didn't take any photos. I was just there celebrating in the moment with them. So, like,
I think that's where he was going with that. Is that
just
it's your mindset. Your mindset is let's party. It was a little bit of a warm day that day. It was a little humid.
Of all the weddings we've been to, I can only think of one that like had a decent amount appear in their Google folder, and it was same kind of thing. They had it in a Discord where all of us were then like trying to communicate in that first, so we knew this was a thing before the wedding day, like well in advance. And then because of that, we're like, oh, let's take photos to remember.
Yeah.
Which I guess a wedding is the same kind of thing. You would know to take photos beforehand, but
I think it's different with a wedding because you're like just really in the moment a lot more than like other events you might go to. But that's my personal opinion.
True. I just want to warn the brides, like if they're counting on that.
I would recommend not paying for it. If you could do it for free or go through like a photo booth where you pay, have someone actually doing it. But I would not pay for the QR code because you're not going to get the return on your investment. If you can get the QR code for free, get the photos for free.
Whatever you get, you get.
You get. But if you pay for it, you might have higher expectations that might not turn out. So
True. And then also, you can also hire a content creator.
Yes, content creators.
Basically kind of like what I was doing for you that day. I was just kind of scanning and grabbing content for you. I sent it to my content creator and I said, do me a favor, whip up a little video for her.
Oh.
She's my bestie. And she's like, no problem. And she sent it back to me. And that's what I sent you with all the raw footage.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
But content creators are pretty affordable. They're like $100 an hour, and they're normally there for like 5-6 hours. So $600, like if somebody's capturing like all that raw content, it fills that need of when you wake up in the morning, you're like, what just happened last night? I want to see what happened. What did I miss? Because you saw that by the photo booth. Like there were pictures and things and the cards that you read, you're like, oh my gosh, this was all happening when we were on the dance floor. And you want to be able to relive those moments. So I think that's really good advice for the couples out there. I think photo booths provide a service in the way that they take pictures of everyone at the wedding that is not a part of the bridal party or family, direct family. Like they make sure to capture all those moments for you along with you guys because you guys look spiffy. You took great photos.
And I think like having like when like a photo booth like yours, like an actual like setup with all the props with like an actual like display and everything, like and a backdrop, like that is so much bigger than just having like a camera and like, oh, this is a photo booth. Like, no, this is just like you can take a photo if you want. Whereas like yours is like something you're engaging with. It's an activity, and like that is such a big difference. Like I would not have known how big of a difference it was without seeing it.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to Halloween. When we were kids, we loved to dress up.
Yes.
We love to dress up, and it doesn't matter like what age you are, whether you're 8 or 80. And I have the grannies come up to the photo booth and they're
my
like,
grandmothers, they were so cute in their little photos.
They were so cute. And they're like, I don't know if I want to take a photo. And I'm like, girl, I got a beauty filter on there. You're going to want to take a photo. And then they take a photo and they're like, oh, I look so gorgeous. And I was like, see,
and
I told you I'm a girl's girl.
Photo of both my grandmothers together, and it's a gorgeous photo. So, you get those memories of the people.
I love that. I love that. I love that. you have that, and I love that I was able to do that for you. It means a lot to me.
Means a lot to me too to have them. There are, I think, our last living grandparents right there. So it was just really special to have a picture of them together.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me feel good. Thank you for sharing that with me. All right. So you both did a lot of DIY. Let's talk about it because you did a divide and conquer on this, right?
A little bit.
Will, your florals were amazing. The arcs that you made for the reception, and we're going to pop in pictures. I took pictures. I know your photographer, Sam Brooks, who I love, love Sam Brooks, and her team. They were also the video team, correct?
Yes.
They were both. They handled both. And so we're going to pop in some pictures, but like I was videoing your florals that you made, and I was like, wow, these are so gorgeous.
Well, the very first piece of it, she did. Like, she put the first piece of, like, she put the foam on and, like, the initial layer of, like, the flowers and the vines.
Federal holiday. Had off work and decided to do some wedding stuff.
I thought that would have been enough. And, like, one of your aunts was even saying, oh, I didn't think it really needed anything. But then the first session of adding stuff, like, I felt really good about. And then every time after that I kept adding things to it, I liked it less. And then by the very end of it, I still don't think I liked it as much as that initial workday, but it definitely looks like objectively it's better than it started.
I think this is a case of you're your own worst critic.
Yeah.
I would agree because it was gorgeous. Yes.
And you did have help as well.
Yeah, a couple of our friends helped us the day before because like transporting it, I knew would be the biggest problem with it.
It did kind of fall apart a tiny bit. Not enough zip ties on it.
It stayed together enough and didn't fall as apart as I was imagining. But yeah, we knew we didn't really want to spend with real flowers or anything, and we got a bunch of fake ones. You did all the sourcing on that.
Did a lot of wedding soft shopping, resale sites and stuff like that because real florals are absolutely stunning and beautiful. You're going to pay for it, though. You're paying for the expertise of these florists.
Yeah.
You could always, if you have extra florals, you can donate them to hospitals, nursing homes, senior citizens, high-rise complexes. They love fresh flowers, but I know that for us, we were going more a DIY route. And like I said, you're paying for their expertise, you're paying for their time. And that is just not something I felt that we would be able to budget for appropriately to get the vision that I had in my head. So as much as I would have loved to do real flowers, we just didn't have the budget.
Nobody could tell. Nobody could tell. When I walked in and I started scanning the room and videoing everything, like your table settings were beautiful. You had the bud vases with the florals and then the beautiful arches that he made. The florals that were on the cake, we're going to pop that cake in. I took a little video of the cake.
I think the cake might have been real flowers.
The cake was real flowers.
Oh, it was?
Yes, that was a lot. I think the person that made our cake used to be a baker. He was one of our people's fathers. He was very lovely and offered to make the cake for us. And originally it was going to be, I think, sugar flowers or whatever it is that the bakers use.
Yes.
But I think it just wasn't working out. So he just texted us and was like, are you okay if we do real flowers? And we're like, that's not our business. Once again, go for it. Like whatever you see in your head,
trust the vendors that you hired, that they're going to execute your vision regardless of any obstacles that they may find along the way. And there are obstacles, always. Nothing is perfect. So one of my favorite things of your wedding, and it took me by surprise when I walked in and I saw it, was these beautiful placemats. And she brought them so that we can show and tell. Her colors. Tell me about your colors. But Abbi made every one of these placemats for every table setting for her wedding. How many did you have?
I think in the end, on the tables, we had completed 102, 108 because we did prepare for a vendor table. So I think we had 108 completed.
Okay. And 108 of these, they're hand crocheted in your colors, trimmed in your colors all the way around.
Well, the colors were on our invitations, and as we had a very long engagement. So over the course of 2 years, every time we would see someone, I would make sure to ask them, what was your favorite color? And so
shut up.
These are this is mine, this is pink, blues are his. So we trimmed these in everybody's favorite color. And then that way it's just a nice little personal thing that if you wanted it, it was all yours and it was personalized for you. But if you didn't, that's okay, because people ended up taking the leftovers home. So.
Yeah, by the end of the night, there wasn't a single one that wasn't like ours left. So somebody, we don't think everyone took theirs home, but somebody definitely took all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how long did it take you to do that?
2.5 years, basically. I started probably right after the engagement. I think I started in March of 2024. And I, fittingly enough, finished R2 last, just because I was like, if they're not on our table, it's fine. I'll just give it to us later. I finished R2, I think, the Wednesday before our wedding, because we had to pack the boxes up. So these were literally, like, to the last minute done, so...
They're gorgeous.
Thank you.
They're gorgeous, and I'm going to be honest. I was a little bit jelly that I didn't have a seat at the vendor table because
I got extras. Don't worry.
Okay,
I made
purple's my color, girl. Just so you know.
I got you.
It'll look really nice right here on my table.
I made a bunch of bases, and I think I probably have about 10 more bases left over. And a lot more colors. So I will make you a purple one.
Thank you. I love you for that. So, and somebody said that you could put this in a vase, and it would look like a bouquet. Mm-hmm. Is that? Have you heard of that, or did you know that?
There's ones online that they're smaller. They're coaster versions.
Okay.
And I have made those for some of the girls. At another one of my bridesmaids, her wedding was last year, and I made really good friendships with all the girls. The Girls Gone Mild group. And so, because I really enjoyed them, got to know them, really loved them, that I decided to make them the little coasters, like a test version of this. And it turned out really well. So that's when I made the decision that I was going to go full throttle with it. So
you have to love a bride that goes DIY and a groom, not to exclude you.
She definitely did more of it. It's fun.
But
he
for
was there
2
for moral
years,
support.
For 2 years, it took you 2 years to do 101 placemats for your guests. What a monumental thank you for coming to our wedding. Like, kudos to you. And it was about the guest experience. And this is one of the things that I circle back to in all of our conversations is like, yes, it is your day. Yes, you are getting married. You want that fairy tale that you've been dreaming about since you were a little girl. But you also have to remember on the other side of it is the experience. How do your guests feel when they leave and they wake up tomorrow morning? Do they go, oh my God, I had so much fun in the photo booth. The dance floor rocked. Look at this beautiful favor that Abbi made for everyone. Like, how does your experience make them feel? And those are the best weddings.
I think it actually goes further than just the wedding. A lot of Will's family is from out of town. A lot of our friends have never been to Pittsburgh before.
Oh, wow.
So when we made the decision to have the wedding here in Pittsburgh, I told him, I was like, if we're getting married in Pittsburgh, we're getting married in Pittsburgh. So that made our venue search pretty specific.
Narrow.
We were looking for a venue that would have a lot of the qualifications that we were just looking for in general to match our vision. But we also wanted it, and I was explaining it to Will, if they're coming to the city, I want them to be able to do city stuff in the morning, wedding stuff at night. So we made the decision to have the wedding in South Side because it's very easy to get downtown, very easy to get to the north side. Hotels everywhere, Airbnbs, easy travel. There's the river walk all along.
Lots of stuff to see and do, easy to get to.
Yes. So we had a lot of people that went and they did the Heinz History Museum. They did the Andy Warhol Museum. They went down and walked along downtown. They went to the Point. Like, there was a lot of people that did just end up walking around the area and getting to experience the city that we love. We took people up to Grandview who have never been up there, and they got some gorgeous pictures up there. So I think it does start from the first moment that you're having the guests arrive. Like, whether they're coming on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you want them to be able to have an experience. Like you said, it's about giving them that. And we knew we had a lot of out-of-town people that I wanted to show the city that I love, and that Will is learning to love still.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And that would be, like, I would say the best advice that you could give any bride, that especially if they have a lot of family coming in from out of town on either side, like how important that it is an entire weekend experience, not just the day of the wedding. I absolutely love that. So one of the things, like, as your ceremony was going to start at 5:00, I would walk outside and I'm like, it's wanting to rain. And I was helping Julie any way that I could, be an extra set of hands. And I popped in and I looked at you, and you were like cool and calm as a cucumber, where most brides would be like, is it going to rain? Is it raining? Like, and you as well, Will. I give you both kudos to that, because you were just like, we don't care if it's raining, it's sun shining, storming, whatever. You were just, and I was just like, She's so calm.
Well, I think it goes back to the very first things we said is that when we looked at venues, we made a spreadsheet. We talked about the pros and the cons of everything. We knew that there was a possibility it could rain. Like, it was always a possibility it could rain. And we had to make peace with when we signed the contract that the alternative was we get married on the dance floor.
Yeah.
We still got married. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, we still got married. We still get to have that moment. We still get to have that commitment and the vow together. So whether we get married on the dance floor, whether we got married at the end of the aisle, it didn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
So
witnessing your wedding, one of the things that I loved was that, instead of having traditional sides, be it that as it may, you had one side on the left side that said, sit on this side to watch Abbi cry. And then on the right side, you had a sign that said, sit on this side to watch Will watch Abbi cry. Correct?
yes, but I can't take full credit for that.
Well,
Okay.
I'll let him go first.
you had that vision from the beginning, and my vision was a bit more like of the traditional thing. So when we had the signs, you're like, oh, well, if they're sitting on this side to watch me cry, that means they have to look across. And I was like, no, but if I'm going to sit on like your side, I want to like be there behind you. And then, so I thought
Gotcha.
the side, so the
He was thinking more traditional based off the sign.
and she was
Yeah.
like,
I
oh,
was
they should
thinking
be
opposite sides.
Yes.
And then my family was confused, and they were like, oh, I wanted to be on your side, but now I'm sitting over there. And my one friend was like, how am I even supposed to watch Abbi cry when I'm crying? So that's like,
That's
I
hysterical.
kind of messed up the order on that one, but like we both really liked the idea of the signs.
But just to go back to that was not my idea.
Okay.
It was actually a Pittsburgh Brides member whose name I do not remember, but I'm sure if I search through my Facebook messages, I will find it. She actually had a sign. Her name is also Abbi, though. I do know that.
Okay.
And I saw that sign and I went, done. I'm taking that idea. It is so funny.
Stealing it.
It's so true, though, because I'm usually the crier and he's normally just watching me cry. Like, not a sad cry. Like, when I'm crying out of happiness or laughter, like, he's just usually sitting there watching me. So I thought the sign was super fitting for our ceremony, what would most likely be happening.
Which was a very emotional ceremony. I didn't know Will at all. And I'm in the back watching this and I'm like, okay, I don't want to cry. I'm not going to cry. And I think the part that really got me was when you started to speak and you opened with the guy that will get in the car and drive and pick me up that's covered with thousands of, was it grasshoppers?
Yes, I do not like grasshoppers.
And I was like, oh my God.
I had forgotten
And I
about
kinda
this until
like-
she talked about
I
it.
kind of like, it made me like laugh, but it made me cry at the same time because you were bringing such pivotal, special, intimate moments into your vows. And the look on his face when you said that, and I think you handed him a Kleenex because he was starting to tear up. And then you continued with your vows, and we'll pop in a little bit of their ceremony, not the whole thing.
When we first started dating, there's no way we could have known that this would be what this would become. I look back on us at 22, just kids, choosing to make it work 360 miles apart. It took work and planning and trust, but eventually the distance between us would be 0 miles. I look back at all the years and memories and growth we have had, and somehow I still feel 22, falling in love with you.
But just highly emotional, and I felt honored to be there. I really did to witness you get married, because very rarely do you see that type of emotional connection and genuine, organic, elevated heart coming forward. And gosh,
Gotta say though, Will's vows had me beat. His
Oh, yes.
were so much better, so beautiful, so poetic, so emotional. I don't think anybody
once
was
I
prepared
knew-
for what he was about to say.
Once
so.
I knew what I was going to say, like I had the one line, and it's like, okay, how do I make as many people cry as possible from here?
Yes, that was his hidden
A
objective.
little bit of revenge against certain people.
They were so good. He did so good.
I
on
love
his
that
vows.
strategy. Well,
I
you
think
made
he
her
achieved
cry.
it. Oh yeah, I
You did it.
was
Well, that was a given. That,
Yeah.
was a given.
But you were just so absolutely adorable. And even when you came up the aisle, and who was blowing the bubbles?
So that was our wonderful friend Cohen. He flew in from Seattle. We knew that he would love the bubble machine, so we gave that to Cohen. And then on the other side, we had my cousin Dom, who was about to have his first child, so we were very excited. So we had him do the bubbles on my side, and once we find the bubble machines, they will probably go to him to be able to play with his new daughter. So we're very excited to welcome her into the family.
Aw, it was a beautiful photo too. That came with the bubbles. Yes. And so that being said, it turned out beautiful, and it didn't rain. It held. You two got married, and then it was party time. What was the one moment during your wedding that took your breath away, Will?
Oh, I need a second to think.
That's a hard question.
That is a hard question.
Send me on my way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The very end of it. So obviously, like, it's our wedding. We're like all drinking and partying, and it's the tail end of this, so this bit's a bit fuzzy to me. But I remember we were both dancing together, and like everyone just kind of wound up in a circle around us, and they were all like kicking their feet, and like I just went in for a hug, and then it turned into a big group hug, and like
Send Me on My Way by Rusted Root was our last song of the night. And so the DJ started playing it, and everyone formed the circle around us. We started dancing in our own world, and one of the guests that we had, she took a video of everyone around. Everyone's like kicking their feet like a can line. And then as the song is winding down and the DJ is saying like, okay, everyone, it's time to wrap up, everyone just kind of like converged, and it was a big group hug on the dance floor, and it was really, really sweet. Yeah. I would say that's my moment too, to be honest.
It still all like blends together for me, because like there's just so many moments on the day, but like that's a good one.
Yeah.
You were surrounded by love.
Yeah. We felt it in that moment, let me tell you that. Felt it so much.
You married the love of your life, and you were surrounded by love, and like it doesn't get any better than that. And not everybody meets their person. Not everyone finds their person. It's so precious.
So young too. Like we've been together almost 10 years next year, and like it's almost like a third of our lives that we've been together.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, we'll only get to be together longer and longer of our lives.
I'm so I feel so blessed to have been there and witnessed it, but also to be hearing the backside of the story, the things that I didn't get to see or experience. I think we were gone probably before that.
Maybe right about.
Yeah, and because we were in a separate area too, we were not like in the main area. I wouldn't have seen it even if we had been there. All right, let's see. What else do I have on this? If you could relive the entire day, is there anything that you would do differently?
Yes, I have a few small adjustments.
I would actually jump in the pool this time. I was saying I would jump in the pool, and Julie was like, "Go for it. Just don't wear your suit." And I didn't have a point to go change, but I would actually do it to make it different this time.
Fair. The thing I would change is so tiny, but we did not get a chance to get a picture with our officiant. We did not get a chance to get a picture with my stepdad with us, and we didn't get a chance to do professional portraits with my two grandmothers. So that's also why I was very, very thankful to get that photo of them together.
Good.
But those are 4 photos we did not get a chance to do. It just didn't make it on the timeline somehow, some way. So if I could redo it, I would make sure that those were like prioritized on the timeline to make sure we get the photos of that. So that way we have it, you know?
Yeah, our officiant was actually the person that drew the photo that was the engagement. So, yeah, I don't think we involved her as much as we should have, and I do feel a little bad about that.
And this was her second wedding she officiated. She officiated another friend's wedding a couple years ago, so I think she's just the friend officiant.
Yeah.
She's a cutie too. Sweetie pie.
She was so sweet.
Yeah, I think she did get a picture in the photo booth. Did she not?
Oh, she did with the photo booth, yes. But professional photos, like with the photographer, like official, like bride and groom, like before the whole thing. Yeah. We did get some signing the license, but like nothing like professional standing up at the end of the aisle with her, you know, so.
Okay.
Those are like the 4 people I think that if I could do it again, I'd want to include them in like the professional version of photos.
Got it.
But we did get photos with them throughout the night, but it's just not like the professional polished photos, you know?
Right,
But
right.
kind of the only small adjustment I would make is make sure to add them into the timeline.
Will, is there anything that you would change?
No, I agree with her. That and the pool. But like overall, it was just like such an incredible day. Anything that like even was seeming like it might go wrong or like have not been the best, like wound up being pivotal to the night, and I wouldn't want to change that at all. Like the weather being what it was allowed us to get a lot of cool locations later on.
And it made
for photos with our photographers.
A shout out to a possibly slightly rainy day. It makes the sky perfect for photos. You don't have any harsh lights, like sun on your face. You can actually look into the sky and not be blinded. Like a slightly rainy day is actually beautiful for photos.
I'm sure it worked out with there being like less people around too.
Yes, less people around too because it just wasn't as busy outside.
They weren't on the bridge.
Yeah.
You got your picture on the bridge.
Oh, you should tell her about the bicyclist.
The bike somewhere when we were on the Hot Metal Bridge, there was like
quite a few bikes going.
So many bikes in a row, but there was like a row of like 20 of them, I think, and at least one of them was recording a reel as he drove by, and we're in it. Would love to find that, but
so if you know anyone that was bicycling on the Hot Metal Bridge on Saturday, May 16th at about 3 to 4 p.m. who might have taken a video, let us know. We'd love to see it. It's out there somewhere.
And this was before the wedding.
Yes.
You were out there doing afternoon.
Our couple photos.
The weather probably is what we thought. We would have to like leave cocktail hour to finish our photos, and because of the weather, we did have to rush certain bits. But then we also had time to get all the locations that we were like on the fence about before the ceremony.
We went from being an hour and a half behind the photos to being an hour and a half ahead due to the rain. So really worked out well for our timeline. So
that's good to know. I think the brides listening will maybe take comfort in that because that seems to be like one of the biggest stressors. And I say the weather in Pittsburgh changes every 15 minutes. So you don't stress it. We're going to get you married either way. Exactly. And, some things are a blessing in disguise and you just don't realize it. And you found that out.
Yep. Yeah. 1000%.
And so now let's talk about your vendors a little bit. I know that you had Soundwaves Entertainment. Love them.
Pat and Nathan. Beautiful. Yeah. Loved it. Great job.
Yeah, they were both incredible. Nothing in general, like there's just going to be nothing but praise for like all of our vendors.
Okay.
But like
bad.
Nothing.
10 out of 10.
Everyone was great. Everyone was incredible. That's why we picked them. But like,
which once again goes into making sure you do your research, making sure you know what you're getting, because we knew what we were getting. We were very happy with what we got, and I think it's because we knew what we were getting from it. We didn't have any differing expectations because we made sure to set those expectations for both us and the vendors. Yes, from the beginning.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
And so you had Soundwaves, you had Sam Brooks Photography that did both photo and video.
Yes.
You did the florals for the most part, DIY.
Yep.
And I want to talk about your cookie table because she had the cutest little bridges and they had little potholes in them with men working on the potholes, which is so Pittsburgh. Authentic. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Although the men don't really work on them as much as we wish that they would.
No, our little guys were much more productive, unfortunately. But we had bought them secondhand. We cleaned them up as much as we can. And when we were about to apply like a new sheet on, because like once again, we're budgeting. We're trying to make sure we get what we want for the price that we felt comfortable with. And they were not in 1000% condition. They just needed a little TLC. Okay. And I took them over. We reapplied some hot glue or super glue to it. We were like cleaning it up, and after we applied it, we had to let it sit to let the super glue attach. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go find some like something to cover up the little foam piece, just put a new one on. And my dad was like, oh, that's the pothole though. You can't cover that up. So he was kind of like the start of that. So then my grandmother came over, and she also said about the same thing, unprompted. So they just decided they were kind of in charge of the cookie table. My aunt, my grandmother's, like they all took it on. So they were like, yeah, no, like we're going to keep it, and we're going to make it a feature. And I was like, that's on you, whatever you want to do.
The little boats under the bridges and everything.
That was more from my side of it, because I grew up on a lake, and my dad and my 2 uncles all owned a marina. So the boats are like that's their whole thing.
It's like tying our stories together. Bridges for me, boats for him.
Aw, I love that. Well, I am getting the cookie tables from you, or the cookie bridges from you.
And also the little men and little construction pieces if you deem it that you want to use them.
We deem that we want to use them. Thank you so much.
Are the boats there?
Yes, the boats are also there.
We have an angel wedding in August, so we're going to use them for the angel wedding. Beautiful. And for those of you listening that do not know, what that means. Angel wedding is when we, the community, come together and put together a wedding pro bono for a couple that may be facing a life-threatening illness. And in this case, the groom has stage 3 cancer. He's 26, she's 26. And they have a big Italian-Irish family, Irish-Polish family, I'm sorry, both. And almost 270 total. And we're going to get them married.
As you should. I think they'll be the third or fourth to inherit these bridges. So just passing on the good luck. They're passing on the love to them.
Yeah. No, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And we have a bunch of community donating cookies and helping us with that as well, because we need a lot of cookies for 270 people. How many did you end up having for cookies? Do you know?
Like amount of cookies?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I think it was over 1,000 because we had, we set up a sheet.
1,300 sounds like... I know, that number's in my head for some reason.
We'll say around 1,300
too, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we had little cakes as well. We had about, probably if you're taking out the cakes from the count, we probably had about 1,100 cookies because there were people that brought cookies that weren't on the list we had made. So once again, the community that we had around us just showed up and brought more than what we were expecting. So it was beautiful.
And how many cookies did you have left?
So at the end of the
I thought of something I would change about the wedding day. I would keep more of the desserts for us for afterward.
We did a first look with our cookie table. Very happy we did that. Will got to have his favorite cookie that my aunt specifically made for him. The little tri-layer, the tri-layer Italian cookies.
Okay.
And then
they're the red and the white and the dark
green.
chocolate.
Yeah.
The green.
We didn't go back into that room at all after we went and did our first look. Like the caterer, which once again we'll talk about the vendors, they were fantastic. They served us all night, so we didn't end up going into that room after that first look. And so Will and I both had that one cookie each, and then they packed everything up. And then the next day, as we're loading everything out, vendors, we'll get to them. We loved our vendors. We loved the hotel staff. They were all fantastic. So as they were just doing their morning duties, we're loading out our car. We're like, by the way, did you get cookies? They're like, no. We're like, go in that room. Just grab a box. Take them. Get them out of here. And so I think they ended up taking probably about half of what was left over. And then we sent the rest of it home to my grandmother's to get it in a fridge just because, we wanted to be safe. And there was some miscommunication. And we had asked them to save the top layer of our cake and the cookies for us when we get back to pick them up, take them home. And that they could serve our bottom layer to all the residents of the little community that they live in. And somehow some miscommunication happened. And they thought it was to give all of the cookies in the bottom layer to the residents. So it still went to like a good place. It still fed a lot of people. We still were able to give back to the community that, my grandmother lives there, my aunt lives there, and we were happy to give back to them. But we did have to try to pick out a couple cookies.
Yeah, a lot of the cookies that like people brought to the wedding, we didn't get to try.
Not a single one.
I got to try. There was a lemon turmeric that I was excited to try. That was the one.
Lemon turmeric?
Yes.
It was really good.
That was the one we did get to try, and it was very good.
Yes.
But the rest of them, I know my aunt makes really good like little meringues that I was looking forward to. Didn't get a single one.
So the answer to your question of how many cookies were left, not many. Not many at all.
And they went really fast because they went to your grandmother's community.
Yeah.
Yes, whatever was left over, which is probably maybe like 150 cookies left over, give or take.
Which even like before that, like we were still giving them away to the hotel staff too.
Yeah. So not that many cookies made it out of the hotel. But then whatever was left, most of them did feed a community of senior citizens. So
I'm going to ask you, so we're going to play a little game
we'll come
called
back into it now.
Boss It or Toss It.
Ooh.
One for each of you. And I'm going to ask you a question. And if you can elaborate whether you would toss it or boss it as a recommendation for other couples. Okay. So, cookie table.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. It's Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The QR code.
If you get it for free, I would do
I'm willing to toss, but
That's
I can... Yeah, this seems like a 50-50
Yeah, it's like
one.
a 50-50. I would, if you can get it for free or extremely low cost, I would do it. But if you're going to pay for it, I would do the content creator or a photo booth much more than the QR code.
Yeah.
If you're going to pay for something, I would do that. But if you're just going to find a way to do it for free, why not? It's free.
Okay. Choosing a venue that has an outdoor ceremony with the option to move it inside.
That's what we did.
If you want an outdoor one, for sure. It was definitely very nice.
Yeah, but I think if you're going to do it, you have to communicate with your venue about what the game plan is if bad weather happens. That was something we covered from the very beginning. We even asked her, we're like, well, it says on your like contract, like tornadoes, like, have you ever had to do anything for high winds? And she went, my entire time working here, no. So I think it just goes back to, as long as you communicate with the venue, they have a game plan. It's not a last minute decision, that they have a game plan. They know what they're doing, which Julie and the venue did. I think to do it all the way, 1,000%.
Propose to your girl during Secret Santa.
Just be ready for the Secret Santa to be about you if you do that. and be ready to not live that down.
Yes.
Okay, and the last one I have for you, how having the video and photo team be on the same team. Boss it or toss it.
Boss it.
Yeah, keep them all together.
Yeah.
Great communication between all of them. They all knew what they were doing, and they worked well together because they worked together. So yeah, I'd boss it.
Okay. One last one, and this one I'm going to just defer to Abby.
Oh,
Okay.
Because it's a girl thing.
Okay.
Have mine.
Okay. I'll double up.
The long veil. You had a long, beautiful veil with the embroidery on it. So gorgeous.
I'm going to shout out that was not my veil. That was the girl whose wedding we had gone to last year. Her mother, for the first time, decided she was going to embroider a veil for her daughter's wedding. So her mother hand embroidered everything on that veil. And then the girl and I, Sarah, we are friends from college. We love each other. She's like my soul sister. We had gone to visit them in December of 2025, and she said, you know, would you be okay if I offered you to wear the veil? And I was like, I can't do that. Like, your mom handmade that. She goes, no. My mom would also like you to wear the veil if you would like to wear the veil. So It was my something borrowed, and I felt extremely lucky to like get to have that and to like share in that like moment with her, because I do view her as my soul sister. I love her so much, and it was just very special to me to get to have a piece of her on my head on the wedding day. So I would definitely say boss it for the ceremony, but then as you saw, I changed into a shorter veil for the party time. So
Okay.
Boss it for the ceremony, maybe toss it for the reception. But
Okay.
definitely pictures were gorgeous in it.
It was stunning.
It was a gorgeous veil.
Because I saw Julie and Melissa were like fluffing it before you went down the aisle.
Yes.
And I saw all the embroidery, and it had like little colored floral elements in it. So gorgeous.
Yeah, her mom knocked it out of the park with it, and there's nothing I could have found that would have been a better veil for me in that moment. So I felt very, very lucky to get to use that.
I think all the way around your wedding was built with love.
It was. We were very much surrounded by love. A lot of people that participated, helped out, just all of it. Like, we felt the love every moment of it. So
Yeah.
That makes me happy for both of you. Will?
They've supported us through our whole lives, so we just wanted to give back to them a little bit while having the day be about us.
for sure.
Thank you so much for being here today and sharing your story with me. It was such a heartfelt wedding, and you could feel the love in the room. Your family was amazing. They were so kind. And I got to witness that like firsthand. Melissa was your photo booth attendant. But I was witnessing that on the sideline, and I was like, wow, this is such a gorgeous wedding. And any other vendors that we did not mention, Soundwaves, Sam Photography, the officiant, what's her name?
Lindsay, but
she-
she's not like an officiant for the masses.
Okay.
She only does very limited
Yeah.
weddings.
Julie at the Hyatt House in South Side is the wedding planner there,
Yes.
head of sales over there. So she helps you with your wedding. Anyone
We
else?
had Bistro To Go.
Bistro To Go was
Oh,
our
yeah.
Bistro To
Yes.
Go was our caterer.
Everybody there. We talked to Lori. We talked to Kayla. Bob was our lead. They were all fantastic.
Okay.
Highly recommend them.
Everything throughout the process of picking them was great. The food was incredible. Every time we saw them at any sort of bridal show
Bridal show,
or
open
anything,
houses.
it's like
Fantastic. Lovely
fantastic
people.
all the way around. We get to the day, still fantastic.
Yes. Going back to the photo, though, Sam had a very happy addition to her family, so she was not able to make it to our actual wedding. But once again, that goes to show hiccups happen.
Yeah.
She communicated that so early. She had a game plan in place. She made it very clear. We didn't have to do a single thing. She was like, I will email you whenever I have more answers, like no stress. She ended up sending a different Sam in her place, Sam Fitzhenry, and I think it was Ma Mallory. I don't remember her last name. Yes. They were fantastic stand-ins for Sam, and it really goes to show how much communication they all had, that I feel that our vision was really well executed in all the photos, with Sam kind of directing them on what to do and then editing, and then them just being in the moment. I know you like the bird photo. We call that our personality photo.
I love it.
It was a great last minute decision to add it, but them. And then I didn't get to talk too much to Alex, the videographer, but I know Will did, and he seemed like a very lovely person.
I
as well.
spoke with him. He was really sweet.
Yes,
Yeah.
very, very lovely group there. Very great photo, video team, lovely people. We had Alterations by Rina. She's in Brookline.
Okay.
I did my prom dress through there, so we ended up going in there with my mom. My mom also got her dress done there, so
Okay.
we had a wonderful time with her.
Where did you buy your dress?
Emme Bride.
Yeah,
It
we
was
love Emme
wonderful.
Bride.
Oh my goodness, I am blanking on my stylist name right now, but she was absolutely lovely.
Cynthia?
No, Cynthia, I think was already
Colleen?
booked that day. I think it might have been Colleen. Yes,
Yeah,
she was
blonde
the
hair.
retired teacher.
Yeah.
Yes, lovely lady,
Colleen.
lovely
Yeah.
lady. The appointment was fantastic. I had been to quite a few. What's the word for it? Dress shops. I'd been to quite a few of them. I probably tried on about 100 dresses. I won't lie. As I've said before, I'm someone that I want to know my options. I want to
Yeah.
know my options. I want to know prices. I want to compare, contrast.
Yeah.
I went to so many places, tried on so many dresses, and I got to Emme Bride. They were having one of their sales, and we just decided, you know what? Why not? It's an hour road trip. We're going to have a good time with it. I think it was probably the fourth dress I put on out of maybe 6 or 7. And I was like, I think this is it. So we tried on a couple more just to make sure. And then I just kept coming back to it. And it was, yeah, perfect.
So I have a little story about Emme Bride.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to share with you.
Please do.
So when we said yes to the couple, that's the angel wedding couple, and I said, well, girl, we're going to get you married in 4 months. We got to get you a dress.
Yes.
Right? And she got all excited, and we sent her to MK out in New Ken, and she didn't really find anything that was the dress for her.
Yeah.
And I said, let's go to Emme Bride. And so I met her at Emme Bride. Third dress she tried on. She's like, this is it. I'm in love. This is the dress I want.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, great. Well, meanwhile, we're trying not to bring the C word, cancer, into the conversation because I want it to be about the bride.
Yeah,
I
about
want it
the
to be
moment
about
in
the
the dress.
groom, about the journey that they're on. They hear enough of that. What we're trying to do is bring some rainbows and fairy dust and bring some joy and happiness to them. And so that day, I don't mention this at all. Colleen was our stylist. And the bride and her mom, they put down a deposit on the dress and we left. And 2 weeks later, I called back because Emme Bride is under the Pittsburgh Brides umbrella. And I spoke to the owner, Maya, there. And I said, Maya, can you help me? Can you do anything for this bride on this dress? I was like, she's going through this. She's his caretaker, stage 3 cancer. He's in clinical trials. I told him the whole story. And then also she had just recently lost her job. She was laid off due to just financial concerns within the company. No reason, just they were letting people go. And I was like, so she bought a dress with the intent of paying for the dress, wasn't looking for anything. What can you do for me?
Yeah.
And Maya's like, Dawn, she's like, what do you need? I said, anything, whatever you can do for me. And she's like, I got it. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, we're going to pick up the dress for them.
So sweet.
Yeah. And I was like, and like, that's what's amazing about Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
right? Is that there are people behind these businesses that have hearts and they want to give back to the community. And, you know, when they see an opportunity to do that, they don't hesitate. And Emme Bride just stole my heart when they did that because I wasn't asking for, and I even told her that I said, we don't expect you to take on the entire price of the dress. And she's like, no, I'm refunding their deposit.
So sweet.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. And I like called the bride and to tell her the story. And like, we're FaceTiming and we're both like, we're like crying at the same time. Cause I was like, I can't tell you this over the phone or by text. Like I have to talk to you.
Yeah.
And like, we're both like crying. And she's like, I just can't believe this is unfolding. And I was like, this is the power of community. That's what the Angel Wedding program is all about, is really showcasing and showing that, love is a story of two people, but it's also the story of our city.
Yeah.
in who we are. And I don't think you find it anywhere else in the world. And if I need volunteers on Saturday, 7:25, I might be saying, Abby, can you come out to North Hills and help me with cookie table setup and stuff?
I don't feel like we got anything to do. I just got to take off my job and I'm there.
Okay, I'll let you know. We have a lot of volunteers right now, but it is a big wedding.
Yeah, you said 200 plus. Yeah, I felt like ours was big. We had planned for 140 and I was like, that's kind of big.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but that was the groom's wish. He said they understood that they could get married at the courthouse, and they actually asked me for a pavilion, a porta potty, and chips and queso. It's just so that they could be surrounded by their friends and family. Yeah. And I was like, I got you, no problem. And then he's like, well, my father is one of 11, so there's 170 on his side. And I said, okay, I need a day. Let me
maybe 3 porta potties for that.
Right. Exactly. Legally. So I was like, let me find a venue. And so we did Pittsburgh Greater Masonic over in North Hills. They can accommodate up to 500. Said yes immediately. And they are donating the meal as well from the catering team there. So it's going to be, this is the stuff. This is the good stuff. This is the stuff that makes you believe in humanity and that we're all better than all the drama and the hate that we see online, and that at the end of the day, we're just humans on a spiritual journey, and these things remind us that that we are spirits on a human journey. Let me correct that. We are spirits on a human journey, and that our time here is only temporary, and in the end, what we do with our time here really matters. And so I'm so blessed to be surrounded by like-minded folks that want to do things like this. Like I'm excited. I don't think I'll make it through this wedding. Like the bride and groom, I've told them, I was like, I have to be really professional with you because I'm going to bitch cry once you walk down the aisle. I know that's going to happen. Yeah. But for right now, I can't cry. We have things to do. Yeah, we've got to hold it together. And you will see a podcast with them too. Yeah. We're going to podcast them before and after. But thank you so much for joining me today. Will, it was really nice to get to know you better and to hear your love story firsthand. You have a one for the ages. I love this love story. I hope that you continue together as a couple, and that your love story grows more and more, and that hopefully there's some little Will Abbies coming along someday. I know we have 2 cats.
Yes, Poppy and Molly. Can't forget to shout them out. We'll send a picture to you of the little things.
The kitty cats.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you notice on the photo booth I had all cat ears?
Where? With the thingies?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yes. I was like, whenever we were packing for the photo booth, I was like, make sure we have lots of cat ears.
Oh, yes. No,
for everybody. And they loved it.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it was gorgeous. And, we already have someone claiming dibs on to be the officiant for our 10-year vow renewal. So we'll call you up, bring you back.
Photo booth will be there. I will be there with bells on.
Will has learned that the photo booth is necessary in life. So he has learned that lesson now.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed our first ever After the I Do interview, where we interview a local Pittsburgh couple just weeks or days after their wedding so that they can relive it. They can share with you their experience, tell you their stories, what they want to boss, what you should toss, how it all worked out for them, in hopes of inspiring you. And if you would like to be on the golden couch and tell us your After the I Do story, we would love to have you. Leave us a comment below. We'll send you some information, and we'd love to have you come down, enjoy the view, some coffee or a cocktail, and let's talk about your wedding.